Hey, it's me, MLB. Here is part 8 of Blood Rampage. Enjoy. But not just any villain. You. You avoided eye contact as you said it. It was a little vulnerable to be admitting it again. Why? He asked. I don't know, to be honest, he replied. I've always been more interested in the villains. I don't know if it's because of the mystery. Like, you hear so much about the heroes and everything, but there's nothing on the villains. And then when I got older and started buying the hero magazines, they have one page at the back of the magazine for villains. One lousy page. It used to frustrate me. You went on to explain how you'd seen his name slowly rising the ranks, and you'd taken note of his name because it just sounded cool. Then, when it had hit top 10, they finally put a little bit of information about him, and that's when more and more pictures started popping up online. Rampage listened while you continued to gush about him and how cool he looked, how he had it all together, and it was then that you realised that in a way you felt like he was free, and you wanted the life that he had. After you finished your story, Rampage leaned across and offered you some of the bun left in the bag, and you took one. All that talking had tired you out. You don't want to be me. I've not had a good life, he replied honestly, the cool night air allowing for honesty to flow freely between you and he. It was then that he opened up about growing up and how he really did want to be a hero one day, but nothing had gone right for him. I'm cursed, he said softly at the end of his spiel. You are not cursed, you said to him, reaching out to touch his knee again. This time he let you, his gaze softening and his eyes welling with tears. I can't get out of this mess, he whispered. It's useless. You can, and you will. I'm going to help you out of it, okay? Let's make a pact. You and I will both live the lives that we want to live. You stared directly at him, waiting for him to confirm that he was going to say yes. You weren't going to accept anything other than a yes. I told you, we can't. Yes, we can. Say you want to make the change. You can live free, he said firmly. But I don't know how you're going to. Just trust me, okay? I think I have an idea, but I'll need to work on it a bit. He nodded slowly and you gripped your hand onto his knee. Say it. You need to say it loud, you said to him. I want to change. I want to be free, he said, far less enthusiastically than what you'd wanted from him, but it'd do. Okay, I could care less if you want to keep being a villain, but since I know you don't like being one, then I'll support you in any way necessary, he said. Yin? He asked, tilting his head a little. Don't leave me, okay? To see this chiseled villain sitting in the dirt, eating a plain bun, asking you so vulnerably not to leave him. I mean, how could you have said that you would? That just wouldn't be right. I swear to you, E, I won't leave you. I can't leave you. You didn't continue your train of thought, but the feeling of love in your chest was pulsating so hard you thought that he could see it pumping right out of your chest, declaring just how much you'd fallen for this guy in such a short space of time. Okay, he said softly. You smiled at him and let go of his knee and sat back to eat the rest of your bun before leaving for the night. You did try and persuade Rampage to stay at your place the night so that you could be assured of his safety. You didn't know why, but you just felt like something wasn't right. But he insisted that he'd be fine where he was and that he would see you in a few days. He didn't have a phone, so sending him a message was out of the question. And to be honest, leaving him there, not sure if he would keep his promise, was a little nail-biting. After one more goodbye and lingering eye contact, you left and went home, mulling over everything and trying to figure out a way that you could clear his name and give him a fresh start. It's almost as if he needs to go back in time and start again, you thought as you neared your house after getting off the bus. Then it hit you. Start again. The following day, Rampage woke feeling hungry. It wasn't a new feeling to him, but annoyingly, every time he did manage to get a decent meal from somewhere, it always made him hungrier the next time around. I should just not eat. That'd solve all my problems, he thought as he got up, brushing the dirt off the back of his pants. Led by his nose, he headed into town to find somewhere that he could get something to satiate his hunger for the time being. How many cents did Yin say I had? He fished into his pocket and pulled the coins out again to look at them. Having not been thinking straight, he forgot to wear his hoodie out in broad daylight, and it was only as he stepped into one of the food shops that he realised he didn't have any cover. Should I go back and get my hoodie? Or do I just buy something quick and then go? But the time spent stalling left him wide open, and those who recognised him had already started to call the local police station with his sighting. Against his better judgment, he went for the food instead and walked over to the sales section to see if anything there was for 55 cents. Around the same time, you had just left a building of a well-known quirk wielder, someone who was sought after for their ability to fix problems. You had explained the situation to this wielder and had been given 2 vials of liquid to help. Now all you had to do was find Rampage. At first you thought that maybe you should wait until nighttime, maybe call a few close friends and family and tell them what you were going to do, but the more people that knew about your plans, the more people might try and stop you, so you didn't need that. Not now. You had never been so positive and so sure of a decision in all your life. So with that determination pushing you from behind, you decided to go and find Rampage right there, right then, and start the process of change. While you were walking back to your house to get a few things in order before seeing him, you passed a shop that had the news on the big screen TV in the window, and people were crowded around watching what was going on. Curiosity got the better of you and you stopped too, wanting to see what all the fuss was about. "This is live," the reporter on screen said, a shop that you vaguely recognised behind her. "Coming to you from downtown, a dangerous criminal has taken hostages. Word is that 2 hostages are already in a serious condition and the others are afraid for their lives. The police negotiations team are on site as we speak and are in contact with the villain, talking through his demands." "Who is it?" you asked the person next to you who had been standing there a lot longer than you had. "The villain? I think they said his name was Blood Rampage or something," he replied. "Oh, that's not good. Better stay tuned for the next part, part 9, coming tomorrow."